And we're live. Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey there.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. And it's funny because I know it has Jeremy Cohen's name on there, but this is Jeremy and Tracey Cohen, both business partners, an awesome power couple, I would like to say, and they probably wouldn't want to be called that, but really humble, really approachable, great community supporters, and yeah, owners of Target Print and Mail. And so before we dive in, I'll do a quick intro that I pulled from your website. Tracey Cohen, is president of Target Print and Mail, graduated from UNC and worked for a market research firm in Atlanta before moving to Tallahassee in 2004 to begin her career at Target Copy. Tracey worked in a variety of roles at Target before purchasing the company and becoming president in 2009. Since then, Tracey has seen the company through many changes and significant growth and has done it with grace and grit. She loves that every day is different. There are always new projects to tackle. And then, of course, Jeremy Cohen, who is in charge of business development, joined Target Print and Mail in 2015 after a career in sales and account management. He got his degree in political science from UNC, and he enjoys helping with political and marketing campaigns. Jeremy focuses on sales, marketing, and customer service, and he works closely with clients to get their messages out in the clearest and most cost-effective way. He loves collaborating with a client on a new campaign or piece of collateral and then seeing it out in the marketplace, making an impact. So thank you so much for joining us here at CityClips.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar, CityClips is all about covering everything in North Florida business and tech. We love to highlight business owners in the community that are making a local impact. And so I know you made a recent announcement. I am a raving fan and customer, of course, so that's why I reached out. I know, like the one with like the one-up orders here and there. But yeah, still love like everything about how you run your business. The customer service is amazing. And so, yeah, you announced recently of the acquisition of its Harvest Marketing and Printing Solutions, I believe.
Yep. Print and Marketing Solutions. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Right. So as president, Tracey, I'll ask you first. What has helped you along the way? How many years now? It seems like it's what is it? Is it that you reached a recent milestone, and then Jeremy joined in 2015. So it's been 10 years since Jeremy joined.
Yep. I've been with the company it'll be 21 years in August. And wow. I've owned the company for 16. So it has been, it's been a good long run for sure. But what has helped is honestly not knowing all the answers myself or not thinking that I did. I've had an amazing group of just local CEO and business peers that have been really enormously helpful. I'm part of a Jim Moran Institute peer group that we have been together, I think, longer than any of the other peer groups. I think it's close to 15, maybe 12 years at this point. And then I also am in a peer group of other printers and from all over the country, which has really kind of helped us bring in best practices, look at what technology, what processes is everybody using that are really the leaders in their field, and how can we apply those to our business. And so those both having like a local presence and a national presence with other people and other experts has been enormously helpful for us. And then that's just the external part. Internally, being able to have an amazing team. My team is longstanding. There we have our average like tenure is
it's almost like 11 years.
11 years. Yeah. So like we don't have a lot of turnover. We have great employees. We have people who care. And so that has been a part of our growth strategy and our success. Like it's really we've driven it to some extent, but it's really like we're just the ones in the carriage, but the horses are the ones that are pulling it, and they're doing amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the common challenges that local businesses have to go through is the turnover. Tallahassee being a transient town, and you got, students coming and going, and it's really hard to retain employees. what would you say is part of your secret sauce that has really helped you build that company culture?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's a very deliberate thing by kind of the leadership team here. You know, we know we have a really strong team, and we try to do everything we can to keep them happy and give them no reason to go elsewhere. And so, we work hard to create a fun and collaborative working environment here. We try to make sure it's a good place for people to wake up and come to work every day. And there's some stress, but we try to do stress relievers, and it helps with things like we keep the break room fully stocked with food and drinks, and we bring lunch in regularly. We celebrate birthdays and milestones with cake and that kind of thing. And we also have some like a morning meeting where we share who leads the meeting. It rotates around, so people I think have some real kind of leadership roles and buy-in. We try to shine the spotlight on everybody here as much as we can. And so far we've been successful with being able to retain this really strong team, and we're going to keep on. We're doing everything we can to hang on to these good people that we have.
Yeah. And one of the things that we really try to focus on with our people is explaining to them why it matters. Why does it matter that we get things done on time? Why does it matter that things are correct? Why does it matter? And it's mostly by sharing the successes of our customers with our employees, and being able to say that, this is, they were able to have an amazing event because of the work that you did, and this is the impact that you had on this particular situation. And that has been, I think, having the employees feel like they're part of something that actually is bigger than just this company is really important.
Yeah. And just to add to that, I mean, we truly listen to them and value their opinion. And so when members of our team talk about new equipment that they see or software technology that is worth bringing in that would make their job easier, make them get jobs out better, faster, quicker, then we listen to that, and we're constantly investing in technology that's going to kind of help make us better, and our team is a big driver of that.
That's awesome. And sounds like you're very open to feedback, new ideas. And one of the things you also do in the community is serve on multiple boards. Like I haven't even mentioned and listed out all of that. How have you managed to, manage your time of managing the business? It's a pretty demanding industry. And then also help and give back to the community and manage your family life too. Either one of you can take turns.
Mm-hmm. What do they say? Yeah. What do they say? Busy people are the best people to have on boards or something. Just because, I mean, if you're constantly moving, then there's no chance to like slow down and slack off. So, I mean, not to say that we don't do that. We have plenty of downtime, but we also, we believe in this community, and we believe in Target's role and our own personal role in making sure that this community is as great as it can be. So, I've actually taken a step back from a lot of boards in the last couple of years because, as the business has grown a little bit, and our children are kind of at a point where they don't need us more, but it's just their time. Our time is split in many, many ways. But I am starting our oldest just graduated from high school this year. And so I have a little bit of extra time. I know, yay. And so I'm starting to jump back in. And Jeremy's been very consistent. Whenever he rolls off a board, he joins another one. So we're both really like enjoy the process of being part of other organizations. And it helps us to be better leaders of our own when we are able to, kind of infiltrate other groups and see how they lead.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's it opens up a lot of opportunity too for business development, I would imagine.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I just, my senior also just graduated. I didn't realize you guys had a senior too. That's congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Yeah. So I totally understand the stress of it all, having kids and just having all of that. There's curveballs that are thrown your way.
I was completely unprepared for being a senior mom. Like I had seen it coming for years and years, and was completely unprepared for all of the crazy that it.
Well, I feel like they've hyped it up a lot more than when we were high schoolers. I would have to say.
For sure.
Yes,
I was
we were
like, how
lucky if our
many
parents came to our
graduation
graduation.
parties do you all need to have? Like,
Right? Yeah.
you're
There was
going
a
to
whole season of it. It was totally out of control.
Yes, it was a whole month.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's awesome. And then, of course, totally feel you when you say like, there's going to be a little bit more time now. We'll see. Um, but okay, the printing industry, that's another thing. It's not the easiest industry to run a business. Did you both imagine yourselves running a business with your background and together?
Neither one of us ever dreamed of being in the printing business. It has been really good for us, and we have enjoyed it. But it has been it was thrust upon us, I would say.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity that my mom came to me when I was in my early 20s, and I was working for this market research company in Atlanta. I was traveling all the time, and I've been doing it for about 4 years. And she approached me and said, "I would really like for you to come and live in Tallahassee and eventually buy the business." And my first response was, no, thank you. And a lot of that was based on how I watched how hard she worked and how many hours she put into the business. Now, I was not interested in that level of commitment to, work. But over time, it kind of became clear that it was a really good choice. And so we did make the move. And Jeremy actually did a bunch of other stuff before he ever joined the company. He was, 10 years doing sales for other companies. But no, printing was not what we dreamed of, but it is absolutely something that we have embraced and kind of enjoyed the process of trying to figure out how to navigate it. It has changed so much in the last 20 years since I've been part of it. We used to be a retail shop where people were coming in with their hard copies and we were scanning, and that has changed. We do not.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I know. And we closed that down in 2020 when COVID kind of gave us the opportunity to. We became a full-on commercial printer, and that has been the best move. Like getting out of retail was the best decision we've ever made. But I know a lot of people missed that location, but that was hard. You talk about hard, that was hard. This is a much easier, being open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 is like beautiful. We love it. So, I mean, but the industry is tough.
Local. Yeah, no, that was like the local version of Kinko's, right? Like that.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. Can you give me 10 copies of
here's my resume, or I mean, a lot of faxing, like we did faxing up until the very last minutes of that shop being open. So
wow. And which, by the way, Eddie stopped by. He wanted to say, he said two amazing business leaders, and more importantly, two amazing human beings. Proud to call
Eddie.
them
Feelings mutual. We love Eddie.
He's great. Great ambassador for Tallahassee as well. So if you, and believe it or not, we're about to start wrapping up because 30 minutes flies so quickly. If you were to, give yourself advice on, or give others advice as well, like either starting a business or even purchasing a business, what kinds of tips would you give them?
I'd say, it's always important to listen to your customers and see what they're asking for and where the demand is, and kind of pay attention to those trends and be responsive to it, and not be afraid to, invest in new technology or new ventures that are in line with what your customers are wanting. It's easy to kind of keep your head down and think, oh, we know better than anybody else what we need to be doing, and you just kind of keep on doing what you're doing. And often that's not where the growth opportunities are. I think we've done best when we've pivoted or made some moves away from what we had been doing before, based on what our customers have been asking for.
Yeah. I think the other thing is when, especially we've acquired 4 businesses at this point, and it's really easy when you're in an acquisition mode to look at the numbers and look at the business possibilities and just kind of focus on that. But the other thing that you have to remember when you're doing it is it's about the people. It's about the people that are both at your current company and the one that you're acquiring. And the most important thing that you can do is manage those expectations, manage those concerns, and everything. I mean, that's something that Jeremy really focuses on. I'm much more about the numbers, but Jeremy's really focused on making sure that the people are taken care of as well.
Yeah.
And so that's why it works for us, is that we really kind of are yin and yang. it gets on we get on each other's nerves because
Yep.
we push each other's buttons in so many ways in that regard. But it makes us better, and it makes our business better, and because we're thinking about the whole picture and not just parts.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to ask you, like, it's not the easiest to also run a business with your partner and your, you know, your spouse. So what have you found to work in, you know, in terms of communication, and, you know, their stress levels are high, and yeah, any tips on that too? Because my husband doesn't, you know, he's still behind the scenes helping me grow my business as well. But at the same time, we're very different too. So, yeah.
Okay, great. I got to answer this one. No, I mean, it's a work in progress. I mean, it's the kind of thing that, you know, I don't think there's any couple that works together that has it perfectly figured out, and we certainly don't. But we've been married for 20 years and working together for 10 years, and I think our business is in a really good place and our marriage is in a really good place. And you know, it comes from communication and kind of feeding off each other and understanding, learning from each other and respecting each other. I think, you know, one thing that I've learned about myself is that I often, at the end of the day, the way I kind of process my day or think about what's coming next is by like getting home and talking through it and processing it. And Tracey, when she like pulls in the driveway, it's out of sight, out of mind. Or well, yeah, you might be internalizing it, and but you don't want to.
I don't want to talk about it.
And so I got myself into trouble plenty of times by coming home and yapping and, you know, bringing Tracey back into the work mindset, which is not where she wanted to be at home. And so I've learned to kind of, you know, shut it down also. And so we very frequently will, you know, Friday afternoon will come and we'll have had a crazy week, but we won't talk about work at all until Monday. And we truly, it's kind of out of our mind, which is, it's a tough thing to do, but I think we've been able to achieve that. I think Tracey's kind of steered me in that direction, which has been a positive thing for me personally. But anyway,
That's
so we just
great.
kind of learn how to communicate, when to dive into work stuff, and when to keep it at bay.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is that just keeping at the forefront is that the marriage is the most important part of this whole thing. Whether we're business partners, whether we work together, all these things, the marriage is, or even as parents, the marriage is the core of it all. And so taking care of that marriage and making sure that even though there are fights, there are problems, there are things that get in our way, that taking care of that marriage is the number one. And then if that's good, everything else will be too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to make sure I pull up your website because I noticed that you refreshed it. It looks great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I did, you know, I've been there before, and like there's been a few times where I poke at Jeremy, like, Jeremy, why is this happening with the website? But that was before. Now it's
Yeah.
I usually try to contact the team directly. This is great.
Yeah, no, we've made some investments there, and I think it's in a good place. It's, you know, your website can always be better, but I'm happy with it right now.
Oh yeah, no, it looks good. So you guys are very quick. You have a quick turnaround with sending quotes back whenever I request, and you know, usually people now it looks like people can actually place an order, send a file through it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend for people that like just started? Looks like get started right here.
Yeah, I mean,
like
so
a little button.
We have a really good team of customer service project managers who they're kind of on the front lines and take phone calls, take people, you know, walking in the front door, emails all day, every day from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And so that's the best way to kind of get a quote is going through our customer service team. You can submit it online through our website there or send an email, hello@targetprintmail.com, and that goes to an inbox that a number of us are always keeping our eye on. And we really pride ourselves on being quick to respond back, quick to provide quotes, and once that's approved, quick to move through the production process and get jobs done. So yeah, but going through our main customer service team at that email address right there, hello@targetprintmail.com is the best way to get started.
Yep.
Yeah, Edith is great. I always see her like responding to my emails like almost right away.
Yeah, Edith fast.
Yep.
And then, you know, you're on social. Where have you found a lot of success in acquiring new customers? Or are you noticing that? Because I know you probably have a lot of your regular loyal customers. Have you done anything new and different, or is there something that you have consistently gotten customers from?
So our best new customers come from referrals, right? From people who use us already, telling other people that they work with or that they are associated with to use us. That's the best way. But we have also been successful, I think, in the last couple of years with online advertising, SEO, and also we do some pay-per-click stuff. Actually got a 5-star review on Google recently from somebody who needed just a sign for a wedding event, and they needed it in the next day. And so she like desperately searched on Google and found us, and like we got it done. And she was just blown away that local resource was available, but she had never heard of us before. And that's the kind of thing which, like, we kind of think because we've been here for 40 years that everybody in town knows about us, and that is, we're humbly saying, oh, okay, well, I guess not. You know,
Right.
everybody does, but it's kind of exciting that people are still finding us and are happy with what we're doing. So, there's more growth to be had, but at the same time, like, I think the vast majority of our success has been through referrals from customers, and that's been huge for us. And we got 2 good salespeople too who go out in the field. Tallahassee is still a town that likes to do business with people, and relationships really matter here. And so building those relationships has been a huge part of our strategy and success as well.
It's true. And I'm glad you mentioned JMI's peer group. I didn't realize they've had, these peer groups for that long. I've had heard about them more recently, just because I recently finished their executive program. And so, it's great to know that there are peer groups in town. I know there's things like Vistage, there's JMI's peer group. I think there are other versions of it that are around that nobody knows about, but
I think so
they're
too.
always very helpful. Yeah. What other sources of networking that you've found to be useful and worthwhile your time, if for anyone who is new to the Tallahassee business community? Yeah.
I try to get out there, and a number of us do, and be active. We have a member of our team is in a BNI group. I'm very active with the chamber. Have served on the board there, and continue to go to chamber events. We go to the chamber conference every year, and lots of other events throughout the year. And serving on boards is certainly a good way to get out there and build relationships, and just kind of attending events. I mean, we're lucky we print for a lot of people who put on events, and we attend a lot of those events, sometimes as a sponsor or just support these nonprofits or organizations that are putting on events. And the way I think about it, it's kind of like the more collisions we have. By collisions, I mean interaction with other people around the community, then the more you build relationships, and the more people know us, and when they think that they need to get something printed, then they turn to us, right? And so the best way to have the greatest number of collisions is by being out there and attending events with a whole lot of good people, and it tends to come back to us.
I want to make sure I give you enough time to do a nice little concluding word, but one more marketing tip that you could provide for those, let's say, maybe someone wants to do direct mail, because I think you guys provide that type of service, right? Yes. What would you say for someone who has a budget of $5,000? Is that something doable for direct mail? I'm sure that's a good starting point, maybe.
And the great thing about direct mail is that it truly, no matter what the budget is, you can put together a campaign that can fit it. And so, we help out with everything from list procurement to designing a piece to printing it and then mailing it out. And I love helping customers be really targeted in their direct marketing approach, understanding who they're trying to reach and finding just those mailboxes with, that fit the demographics of those people they want to reach. And then putting together a really compelling piece with a strong call to action. And that's a kind of persuasive piece that when people open their mailbox, they're going to pause and engage with that piece. And then, make sure that it lands on time, given whatever their goals are. And so that's something we take really seriously. We feel so strong about mail, we put it in our name, right? Target print and mail. And so it's something that I think we're uniquely good at in this market. And we love working with customers on that type of thing.
Yeah. And I think one thing that to maximize a budget like that is to integrate as many types of media as possible. So, a lot of people love to put their product puke on a mail piece and like put, do a 10-page brochure or whatever, which is completely unnecessary if you have a website that has all the same information. So like your best bang for your buck is always going to be a postcard with a QR code that links to your website and to any relevant information that you want to share. It also allows you to like see how effective that mail piece is, because you can tell who's linking in based on that QR code. It's a lot more trackable. So there's a QR codes have been trying to make it work for so long. And then all of a sudden COVID came and it was like, QR codes are great. And I'm so glad, and especially technology within the smartphones has made it so much better, so much easier to use. So yeah, we fully embrace the full technological suite of being able to get your message across. And we support it.
That's awesome. And there's so much more I'm sure, dive into other directions, but I want to be respectful of your time because you both are so busy. And I wanted to give you a minute to just say if there's anything you would like to end with, words of inspiration to the Tallahassee community, maybe even just motivation to get their act together. If you will, because really there's a select few in town that's actually doing something about making our community much better. So, and you're one of them. So I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
So,
well,
any words of wisdom?
Yeah.
This is where he shines.
Oh, so. Lord, that's the spotlight's on me. So let me give a kind of marketing pitch real quick, and then I'll do my best with words of wisdom. But on the marketing side, we talked about the printing we do. We also do graphic design. We talked about the mailing we do. We do signs as a big part of our business, and then we also do promotional products. That's a new acquisition of ours, and a big source of expansion. It's the fastest growing segment of our business is on our promotional products and signs. So if you want a logo and anything, we'd love to help you with that. So that's the marketing piece out of the way. In terms of words of wisdom, I just know that we're stronger together, and there are a lot of really bright, motivated, interesting people and businesses in this community. And it's so easy to get online and go to some big national company, but I just encourage everybody to lean in and find the wisdom and knowledge that exists right here in the Tallahassee community, and lean on each other, because we're definitely stronger together.
Yep. I would also just like to point out that Tallahassee is a great town.
Oh yeah,
it's got a lot going for it.
Oh,
and it's also got a lot of opportunity. And yes, it is easy to be critical of this town, but I just want to encourage everyone to look for the positives, look for the ways that Tallahassee works, and build on that, and quit focusing on the things that don't.
I agree.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Julie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So hang tight for a second. I would love to see you backstage just for a few minutes before we hop off. And for anyone who catches this later on, thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Eddie. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie. Thank you.